Welcome to today's Clash of Clans video. We are going to be discussing my CWL war attack. We are going to attack live to try and get the 3 stars for Red Elite. We're going to give you lots of tips and tricks for the clan war leagues. How exactly do you want to go about this in order to win and get promoted? We will then show you some 3-star attacks that we have already had in the first round of the CWL. Alrighty guys, here we go. The base I am going to be attacking is number 13. Now you might have even seen this base before. I have seen a very similar layout a number of times, one of these internet bases if you will. I have seen it taken down with Lava Loon, Hog Riders, Bow Witch. I've seen similar base layouts taken down with a number of methods. Now with the Clan War Leagues, you want to ensure that you get the 2 stars whilst trying to get the 3. So you want a plan in place to get the 3 stars, but ultimately you cannot miss out on the 2 because you cannot go back and attack that base again. So what exactly is my plan for this? Well, initially looking at it, I was thinking of coming in towards the Eagle Artillery, pressing in heavily with a kill squad from there, and then starting my Lalo from either the left or the right side, because I thought if I came in with a heavy kill squad, or not necessarily that heavy of a kill squad, but just enough to get the Eagle, the CC and the Queen. However, I am a little bit worried that down at the bottom of the base there would be a lot of traps. So what I have decided is to do a Queen charge directly into the Town Hall. So how am I going to do that? Well, there are a lot of defenses. I need to set the funnel. So I have 6 balloons, and I'm going to target the balloons onto the Archer Towers. I'm very much aware that there might be Teslas in this area as well. So we're going to slowly put the balloons in, hope that we get the Archer Towers and a baby dragon on either one of these buildings to hopefully go from the Dark Barracks to the army camp and in towards the cannon. The Wall Wrecker will then push directly from the bottom, and we'll charge the Queen directly in towards the Town Hall. I do have Valkyries in there, so as long as the Wall Wrecker gets through that, it should be enough to take down the Town Hall just with the Valkyries. The Queen charge can hopefully then get in there, get the CC and the Archer Queen. From that point, I'm actually going to use mass Hog Riders. So I'm going to deploy on each one of these buildings around the outside, target in towards the single target Inferno, and press the Hog Riders up towards the Eagle. Obviously, I do have some Wizard Towers, so I'm going to have to try and cover these areas where there's potential for giant bombs in between the gaps of the base and the Wizard Towers. They're going to be the primary places to target my heal spells. From that point, the wizards will then come in, but basically my idea to get the Giga Tesla is that Queen charge. So I have to make sure the funnel is set in order for the Queen to get in. This is the army that we have, so if necessary, we can indeed use some wizards to press in as well. So, wish me luck guys, here we go, attacking live, and we're in. So we're first off going to use the balloons to try and target the Archer Towers, and there we go, Tesla it is. So let's get the baby dragon in. One of the balloons is actually going across to the Tesla, which is not ideal, but it has taken it out. So that's not too bad. Baby Dragon has done exactly as expected there in terms of the funnel, and that is now perfect. Let's get the King in here just to tank a little bit with the Wall Wrecker, and now comes the Queen, and slowly drip feeding the healers in alongside the Grand Warden. So this is all looking perfect. The funnel has been set tremendously. The Wall Wrecker needs to bust this open. Maybe I have put the Queen in a little bit early, but the Valkyries should still take down that area exactly as explained. Now the Grand Warden is going to have to be used on them Valkyries. The Queen has turned around, and here comes the CC, and it is dragons, so we need to make sure the Queen gets this. So I'm actually not going to use my poison spells as of yet until they come over towards my Queen. The Valkyries are actually doing a good job here, and it looks like they've gone over to the King. So what I am going to do is start my Hog Riders in order to try and protect my Queen. The single Inferno will need to come in here. Let's get the heal spell in, and let's just continue from this point. So the dragons are now coming across They are probably going to hit my Hog Riders though before the Queen, which is not exactly what we wanted. So let's get the skeleton spell, not the skeleton spell, the poison spell, sorry, in order to slow them down. Hog Riders are doing a fantastic job. Managed to slow down the dragons enough that we were able to get the Hog Riders past them. And at this point, it's looking pretty good. We just need to continue with the Hog Riders. Let's get a couple of wizards. I'm actually not going to use the wizards just yet. The Queen should be okay here. We have the ability to press as the dragons come over. And as the Hog Riders continue to come through, let's use the heal spell. There was a lot of them hit by that dragon there. So although there might be a giant bomb here, we had to use it in order to take that out. Let's now use the wizards in order to help clean up. Hogs are going to get the final archer tower. Let's get the wizards into the center here, and as the Queen comes through, we should be good to go. The wizards basically need to get into the center, take down them final buildings. Yes, it's not a fully maxed out base. Queen's ability goes in now to take the dragons. One Hog Rider soldiering through, 30 seconds, but I think we're good. So it was a little bit messy in terms of the taking out of the CC troops. I wasn't expecting that, and basically what I decided, let's review it back actually, guys. Let's review that attack back. At least we got the 3 stars. I'm very happy with that. Okay, let's review it back and see what we could have improved. Now again, I know, I appreciate it's not a maxed out base, but the plan worked perfectly. So, a couple of balloons coming in order to take the archer tower. I was expecting Teslas there, as mentioned, but the balloons did go across beautifully, and the baby dragon pathing was exactly as predicted. Dark barracks, the army camp onto the cannon, taking that out. The funnel was perfect. Now, I should have probably held back on the Queen a little bit. I should have known that because there was more walls, the Queen would walk alongside the King. However, I had Valkyries in the CC, and I knew the Giga Tesla would go down if that was the case. So it worked perfectly in that regard. Dragons coming out, this is what I wasn't expecting. Look at the Valkyries there. They did awesome, man. To take out the Giga Tesla, they were still tanked via the Grand Warden's ability. They were able to get around, take the Queen, the Wizard Tower, which was huge. Taking out them Wizard Towers was massive. Now, what I was hoping was the dragons to come down to the Queen, but they went up to the King. Never mind. What I basically had to do here was protect the Queen. That's in order to help get through the base. The Queen can sometimes be pivotal in terms of them final defenses, but also clean up. And also, you know, you've got to make a choice at some point. Did I wait? The Queen probably would have went down to the single inferno before the dragons came back through, and I knew I had a good shot at getting the Hog Riders past the dragon, which worked perfectly. Using that rage as the dragons got close, got them away from it, coupled with the poison spell. I knew the poison wouldn't take the dragons out, but it would slow them down as the Hog Riders got past. So, fully appreciate, not a maxed out base, but the plan was there. I think it all worked very nicely, bar the dragons in the CC, but I think I compromised that very well. Let me know what you think down in the comments. So, that's awesome. Help my clan with the 3 stars. Let's get into some of the other attacks, and we'll give you some tips for the Clan War Leagues as we do that. Now, Hoon, you've seen him on my channel a bunch of times. Honestly, he's an absolute beast for us here at Red Elite. We are in Champ 3 right now. We've actually came 3rd the last 2 CWL matchups, so we're very much hoping to get promoted this time around. And something we struggle with here at Red Elite, and it happens every single CWL matchup, which we're trying to fix, is the whole mentality of ensuring that 2-star. So like I said, when I first looked at that first base, which you've seen me attack, if it was a regular war, I'd have probably came in with a kill squad to get the Eagle, but it just meant it was harder to get the Town Hall. So that's why we came in from that side, just to ensure that. But you've got to have the Town Hall. You've got to have that 3-star plan, sorry. And in essence, you've got to have a bit of risk, right? You'll see in a second when I come back to the board, we have well over 30 stars because we've got more 3 stars than the bases that we've got 1 star on, which we have had a few. So again, Hoon on this one decides to do the Lalo. That's a very powerful attack, and while some people might say it's not a safe 2, it all depends on how you play it. You can very much turn it into a safe 2, so it just depends on what that's like for the 3. So let's say Hoon came in with his Lalo portion from the Giga Tesla area. you'd be swarming the Giga Tesla with La Balloon. There's no way that you wouldn't get a 3 with that. However, the Queen has done her job. You've just got to appreciate that your kill squad, how far it will get in essence. So in this one, Hoon played that perfectly in terms of the Queen getting through there. And one thing you have to take into account is the traps. Now, in essence, you need to be very, very much thinking where the Teslas might be, like I showed you in the first attack, where that tornado trap is in the CWL. And any tips I'm giving you here for attack, think about you on defense as well. You can very much use this to your advantage. The tornado trap next to the town hall is something I see a lot in the CWL because people are pressing for the town hall. They're trying to get the 2 and make sure they get the safe 2, so they're having that tornado trap next to the town hall to try and spin your troops around. Lots of traps in that area, kind of like them southern teaser style bases that we used to see. That's something that you're kind of seeing coming in. That's something that you can use. Corner Teslas as well, trying to push someone out of time. Again, it's not like a regular war where once people know where the Teslas are, they're able to counteract that. Once you've had one shot, you do not want to attack that base again. Now, in terms of which bases should you attack where, again, it's not like regular war where you're going to be able to scout bases. If anything, you probably want to start at the bottom, and this means nothing. This is literally just in case you get a disconnect. You can sacrifice one of your attacks to go back to that base potentially if it's an easier one to hit. Whereas if you use all of your attacks and the guy at the bottom, which potentially has, let's say, an engineered base, it's very easy for one of your other guys to 3-star, he disconnects, then ouch, you could have got the 3 stars. That's probably my only advice in terms of where you pick, but obviously what you want to try and do in terms of general advice here is use your clan members to your strengths. If there's a base which is crying out to Lalo, obviously your player who is good at Lalo should be hitting that base, and vice versa. You should be really getting together as a clan. Voice is obviously massive for this. And again, another Hog Rider attack. This one with that kill squad, it works very similar to the Lalo, and it is a little bit more forgiving as well, because you don't necessarily have to be as surgical with the Hog Riders. You can see once that push was made, I don't have to teach you all of these different strategies. The strategies themselves are the same as regular war, but it's just thinking about, can you ensure the 2? And one way you can do that is factoring in the Giga Tesla to your kill squad. A lot of the time that's what you will want to be doing anyway, so that's one method you can use, and the Hog Riders seem to be a brilliant strategy for that. So in our experience, we've found Hog Riders, Lalo, and it's gone. Bullwitch. The Bullwitch. That's because I haven't attacked with the Bullwitch for so long, guys. They're the 3 strategies that, as a clan, we tend to use. Now, the Electro Dragons, again, is an attack strategy that it can be a safe 2. Fantastic. Here we have, I used the Hogs. We showed you an example of the Hogs there. Showed you an example of the Lalo. And we have a Bullwitch as well. So you've kind of seen the 3 that I was just mentioning there. Other strategies that are important to note are the Queen Charge Miners. That's because the miners can basically get through the Giga Tesla easy enough. And any strategy that you can do that with is got to be something that you're going to be thinking about. The Bat Spell did get a nerf, so yes, whilst it's still an option, it's not going to be as overpowered, and it can be very easy to mess up now. So you need to be thinking about them strategies. And again, it's not the end of the world. You've seen that in this war. We've actually had 2 1-star attacks. And yes, you want to have more members in order to rotate. Maybe someone just has a bad day. But that happens. With a certain amount of risk in order to try and get the 3, you are going to get some 1-stars. It's trying to minimize that risk by trying to factor in the 2, but also ensuring that as a clan, you're getting more 3s than you need to counteract that. So, with the Bullwitch, as you can see, it's all about funneling the main bulk of your troops into the Giga Tesla. So many times, and again, it depends on the base design, but so many times I see people, let's say the town hall's right on the outside of the base here, and they're attacking with the Bullwitch from this side of the base. And you've got to think, well, yes, if you're going for the 3, it might be the better area of the base to attack from, but if there's any mistakes, remember you can't see where the traps are. Any mistakes, you're only getting a 1-star, high percentage 1-star, and again, it doesn't really matter in terms of percent. It does a little bit, but with the stars being the main bulk of the wars across this, the stars are what you need to focus on, and the long-term strategy, and what I mean by that is it's 7 days of attacks. The long-term strategy is something you need to focus on in order to get that done. We have one more attack, which we might as well show you, which was another 3-star, but again, let's quickly have a look at where we are. Boom, first place. In terms of rounds as well, looks like we're well in the lead there. There is Immortal Empire with 12 attacks. They could potentially catch us up, but we are in the lead and looking good to getting promoted to Champ 2. So there's only one more 3-star attack that we had, I believe, unless I've missed one. And again, not a fully maxed out base, but I feel Sumi did a great job in just identifying what to do with the base here. And actually, there's one key part where he saves the Archer Queen in this attack that I really want you to take note of, because it's fantastic how he does it. So using the Stone Slammer, again, I like the identification of this. Directly being able to target the single Inferno meant he could take out one of them, and I'm not sure whether he figured he could get them both, but amazingly he does. With the Stone Slammer and balloons, takes out 2 single target Infernos, not to mention that area of the base now being destroyed, tornado trap gone. I mean, that is huge value. Now we have the Queen Walk coming in, and this is where it gets fantastic. Look at this, air defense, but you've got to think of it as the Queen can reach that very easy, so you're not really going to lose many healers. And look at how he's attacking it as well. If you can go head on onto the air defense, then you're not going to lose the healers. The range just isn't there, look. It's when you're walking along sideways, let's say the Queen's coming along here, that the healers can get targeted when you're kind of side on, if you will. If you're coming straight into the air defense, then the healers can be out of range. So again, this is that fantastic part I talked about. And again, I mean, you've got to say, poor base design in terms of all of the air defense there, the Queen, the CC, just not what you want to do. But breaks the Queen in, and you might think, I mean, when I first watched this, I thought, well, that's interesting, because I would have potentially walked the Queen around, missed that single Inferno, but watch how he counteracts this. So, as he comes into the base, the Queen is going to get locked on by the single Inferno. So you want to give it a couple of seconds. Obviously it's not doing too much in the way of damage initially. Then the Grand Warden's ability is used first. What that means is that prior to the Grand Warden's ability finishing, remember, once that ability finishes, the Queen is going to be history. Prior to the Grand Warden's ability finishes, pop that Queen's ability, so she was then invisible. So the Inferno Tower couldn't do that damage and needed to retarget. So I just thought that was a very intuitive way of getting the Queen through that area. And now look at the Lalo, just has that thin left hand strip. Very nice. And again, that's another tip, probably the final one that I want to wrap up on. Do not underestimate bases, whether it's an engineered base, a lower account. Do not underestimate it in these wars. Don't just spam it with a bow witch or something like that. Think about the plan, because there's so many times you can miss out and you can't go back to hit it again. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button just next to me. Be sure to join my Discord. It's down in the comment section if you want to chat with me as well, and try and get some help from fellow clashers. Until next time, guys, peace out.